What's up, everybody? Today, I want to take a step back into the past and look at how Iron Man went from a B tier comic character to one of the biggest names in all of pop culture, and how, somehow, in 2026, Marvel Rivals is treating him like he's barely worth acknowledging. For a hero who helped define an entire generation of superhero media, it's a strange place to be. So, sit back, relax, and let's take a deep dive into the state of Iron Man today. The year is 2008. Superhero films are inconsistent. The genre is shaky, and the most recent release, Fantastic Four Rise of the Silver Surfer, didn't exactly inspire confidence. Before Iron Man, superhero movies were either cult classics like Blade, niche hits like Ghost Rider, or outright misfires like Daredevil. Then, Iron Man released and changed everything. It wasn't just a successful movie, it was the foundation of a cinematic universe that would reshape entertainment for the next decade and beyond. Iron Man became the spark that ignited the MCU's rise into the biggest film franchise in history. Iron Man didn't just succeed. Superheroes went from just comic book stuff to mainstream entertainment. Kids wanted Iron Man masks, adults were lining up for midnight premieres. Nerd culture as a whole became the norm. It wasn't niche anymore. It became the center of modern pop culture, influencing fashion, media, and even how studios approach blockbuster filmmaking. Iron Man became one of the biggest modern superheroes. Before the MCU, Iron Man wasn't Marvel's top priority. He wasn't Spider Man, Wolverine, or even someone like the Hulk. He was a B tier comic book character at best, unless you were already deep into Marvel lore. RDJ's performance changed that overnight. Iron Man became the face of Marvel, the leader of the Avengers, and one of the most recognizable fictional characters on Earth. His rise wasn't just popularity, it was a cultural shift that elevated him into the symbol of modern heroism. His popularity carried into gaming as well. From Iron Man 2's tie in video game to LEGO Marvel Superheroes, Marvel vs. Capcom, and even the controversial Marvel's Avengers. And now, Marvel Rivals. Iron Man became a staple of superhero gaming. He was always expected to be strong, flashy, and fun, a character who naturally fit into action focused gameplay, which makes his current state in Marvel Rivals even more surprising. Despite being one of the most iconic heroes ever created, Iron Man is consistently treated like an afterthought. Season after season, he sits at the bottom of the tier list, overshadowed by characters who don't carry even a fraction of his legacy. This contrast alone between his cultural importance and his in game performance is what makes his discussion necessary. Marvel Rivals launched in December 2024 with massive hype. The game pulled in an estimated 10 million players across all platforms. It surpassed Apex and Overwatch in early player count. The reveal trailer alone hit 3 million views, signaling a strong start for a new hero shooter. And yet, Iron Man didn't even get a character trailer. Squirrel Girl did. Iron Man didn't. For a hero who helped define Marvel's modern identity, being sidelined in the marketing was a strange decision. Iron Man should have been a flagship character, the face of the game, the hero you show off to represent your brand. Players expected Iron Man to be a top tier DPS, a strong aerial duelist, and a flashy high impact hero. Instead, he launched in a state that felt unfinished, underpowered, and disconnected from the fantasy he's supposed to represent. Since Season 4, when I started playing, Iron Man has consistently been bottom tier. Every tier list, every patch cycle, every season recap. He's always near the bottom. It's not a temporary slump, it's a pattern. He's constantly overlooked for buffs. His buff history reflects this. He's received 11 nerfs and 9 buffs, and most of those buffs barely changed anything. The removal of his only strong team up, Gamma Charge, further weakened his presence. While other DPS heroes receive regular tuning and improvements, Iron Man often feels left behind. Not to mention, he's nearly outclassed by every DPS. As of June 2026, Iron Man is outclassed by almost every DPS in the game. Cyclops outdamages him. Human Torch outflies him. Scarlet Witch outbursts him. Storm outcontrols him. Punisher outduels him. And worst of all, Squirrel Girl out AoEs him. Not to mention the fact that someone like Ultron, who's a strategist, out beams him. He doesn't have a niche. He doesn't have a strength. He doesn't have a role. He's a generalist in a game that rewards specialization. Players even call him a flying squirrel girl because his damage feels like her AoE spam, but weaker. It's a joke, but it reflects a real issue. Iron Man's kit doesn't deliver the fantasy his name promises. Iron Man was only strong in early seasons because players were inexperienced. People didn't know how to fly, how to aim, how to counter him. As the skill ceiling rose, Iron Man's weaknesses became more obvious and he quickly fell behind. His decline wasn't caused by new heroes. It was caused by the game evolving while he stayed the same. Iron Man's problems aren't isolated, they're systematic. His inconsistent damage relies heavily on grouping and AoE splash, supports can out-heal his entire kit, and his beam, while strong, is easily countered by shields, mobility, or simple positioning. His flight feels slow, floaty, and awkward. Instead of feeling like Iron Man, fast, agile, precise, he often feels like he's hovering in a place without momentum. This disconnect hurts both his fantasy and his gameplay. His abilities don't complement each other either. His AoE is weak, his missiles are unreliable defensively, his beam is strong but inconsistent. His flight doesn't support his DPS windows. Honestly, Iron Man's kit feels like a collection of ideas rather than a cohesive design. Iron Man should be a punishment hero, someone who capitalizes on enemy mistakes. Instead, his cooldowns make him feel reactive and slow. His kit doesn't allow him to control engagements or dictate tempo. He tries to do everything, but every other hero does each part better. In a game built around strong identities, Iron Man's lack of a clear role leaves him behind. For a hero in a suit of armor, Iron Man is surprisingly fragile. He has no defensive tools, no escape, no shield, no stun, and no peel. He's easy to chase down, easy to burst, and honestly, easy to shut down. Maximum Pulse is flashy but unreliable. It's slow, easily countered, and often blocked by supports or tanks. It rarely delivers the impact an ultimate should have. Iron Man is also one of the most popular heroes in the world. He has dozens of iconic suits: the Bleeding Edge, Thorbuster, Marvel vs. Capcom armor, the suitcase armor, and yet Rivals barely gives him cosmetics. Characters like Luna, Cloak and Dagger, and Invisible Woman receive multiple skins per season. Iron Man receives almost nothing. His last skin was cool, but it wasn't even a comic suit, and the comic suits are the core of his identity. This isn't just a gameplay issue, it's a missed opportunity to celebrate one of Marvel's most iconic characters. How I would fix Iron Man is he needs more than small buffs. He needs a redesign that respects his legacy. For his ability reworks, I want to replace his primary fire with an AoE repulsor blast. Slight displacement on his first hit, the beam gains a burn DOT, beam charge time is increased, new ability, nanotech shield. When depleted or charged, press L1 to fire a concussive blast that stuns briefly. These changes would give Iron Man more control, more identity, and more impact. For his mobility, I want him to have an overcharge for his flight. 3.5 seconds at 15% increased speed. This would make his movement feel dynamic and powerful, matching his fantasy. For his new ultimate, I want Maximum Pulse gone. Instead, I want you to be able to turn into the Hulkbuster for a short amount of time. Increased armor, new melee attacks, a rocket barrage, ground and pound, short duration, high impact. This would give Iron Man a true ultimate moment, something that feels worthy of his name. The goal in doing all this is to improve his damage consistency, improve his beam reliability, strengthen his AoE, and give him a clearer punish window. Iron Man should reward precision and timing, not random grouping. Make him an aerial duelist and a burst DPS hybrid. Give him a ground mode similar to Angela's DPS stance. Let him switch between mobility and power. And of course, I'd want him to come with new cosmetics as well, like mentioned the Bleeding Edge, Thor Buster, and so on. These suits would celebrate his history and give players more reasons to invest in him. Iron Man deserves better. He's one of the most iconic heroes ever created, and Marvel rivals should treat him like it. Whether it's buff, cosmetics, or a full redesign, something needs to change. If you agree, drop a comment and let me know how you would fix Iron Man. And I'll catch you guys in the next one.